Welcome, my friends and viewers from around the world. Love them knives here. What? It's the Copper Natrix. All right, let's talk about this knife. The Natrix, the Kershaw Natrix. One of my favorite designs, really, definitely the Kershaw does, and I guess it's popular out there anyhow with a lot of other people, so I'm not all alone in that. This is that ZT 777 that nobody could buy unless you hit your button 100 times for 5 seconds, as it sold out in a limited edition and became Knife of the Year, I guess. Oh well. So much for that. So I'm trying to get a cheap 777 fix, and there you go. It's called the Natrix, not the Matrix. Let's not go down that road. Copper, small, D2 steel blade, stonewashed. Like I said, copper, and boy, does it smell like it. Ooh. Okay, not my favorite, scent. Very metallic-y. So, yeah. Really? No kidding. Well, you know how copper is. You ever, when you were a kid, when I was a kid, jar full of pennies, and you're, sorting them through your hands and stuff, and after a while your hands smell like copper and everything smells like copper. Well, this smells like copper. So it's copper. It's a subframe lock design, and of course they are, and the Natrix XL is as well, which I like. This one. It's a big dog with G10. If they made it with silver, I'd be all over that, as the saying goes. And if this was D2 with silver, I wouldn't have bought this at all. But I do hear that we might be seeing a copper Natrix XL, which should weigh about 1.5 pounds, I guess, by the time you get done with it. This is kind of heavy for no bigger than it is, but it's very small. Well, hell crap. Let me kick this out here. Before I start totally destroying this knife, I might as well. Just talking it down and stuff. Then I'll just let you have a nice look at it. Oh, Lord, baby. We all got opinions. Yes, we do. And see, there's the big Natrix, and there's this little sucker, right? So, man, oh man of Shavitz. What is it, like 6.5 inches total length, I'm leaning over looking at 2.74 inch blade, and they're less than an ounce different in weight. So how crazy is that stuff, huh? In any case, in fact, let's do that. Let's just throw it down here and let's get a weight. Then we'll get all the measure and all the stuff. I got this from White Mountain Knives. And then like 3 days later, I look on their site to get the link, for my review I'm going to do and stuff. And they're out of stock. And they're out of stock everywhere. I'll tell you the story while we're doing this. 3.35 ounces. Okay, so let's go to, and there's your 95 grams. So 3.35 ounces. And throw the big one on there. 4.33, so not 4.35 ounces. So about an ounce different in weight. Now, they definitely did skeletonize this. In fact, let me give you a little cheater look on here. You can see how they've weight relieved this. And, and there's your subframe lock going up and being supported here, okay? But not only these 2 screws down here, but the 2 screws that go through the pocket clip also help support that subframe lock, which then says to you one thing. When I go and take this off because I'm a lefty and I want to put it on the left side for left-hand carry, then I'm missing 2 screws supporting that subframe lock. So now what do I do? I guess what you do is you get Kershaw to send you 2 more of these screws, and you use the 2 new screws from Kershaw to put your pocket clip over here and leave these here or whatever, but these 2 need to stay in here to support this subframe lock. I.e., I took the knife apart as I do so often, which kind of gives you that little old look-see, right? So, took it apart, took the pocket clip off. There's the pocket clip. There's the bearings and all the goodies in here, right? And, wow, okay. So we kind of went around this little area where this screw goes through these backspacers, kind of a black G10 backspacer here, screw on each side. Come on, focus. So, no, that doesn't help support it, which would have been kind of weird, interesting if they would have run this up. And I don't know what they were thinking when they did this. Why is this hole here? And I'm not figuring that out right now. Maybe it'll come to me. But like there was going to be some support in here and they were going to leave this alone. So it didn't affect the detent on here if you moved the pocket clip and took the screws out, because now you're kind of teetering this thing. And some knives you can take that out and it doesn't affect the detent. Other knives it will. And so this knife will not be functional if you take these screws out. Now, if you're right-handed, who gives a crap? If you're left-handed, well, you're buying a frame lock. You can't operate left-handed anyhow because it's a right-hand type frame lock, right? So even though you can carry it on the left side, it's still kind of a right-handed knife. Not like, if you get a knife that's really ambidextrous in both ways, like the Mannix. I mean, doesn't matter right or left, and some other types of knives that have an axis lock or just thumb studs or something like that. Yes, okay, even the Para 2, right? Right or left, doesn't matter, okay? And obviously pocket clip, right, left, up, down, all around. So that's kind of nice too. Although the compression lock is set up for a right-hander. There you go. So in any case, we're getting way down the road on this. This knife is okay otherwise. I mean, I put it back together, centered right up. The blade is sharp out of the box. And let me get a little piece of paper here, reach across the table forever. And it's D2 steel, so that's all good and proper. Oh boy. 7006CU model number. So let me just kind of ponder this a little bit as let's do something else. Hold on. Let's get this out here for sure. And we'll do this while we're talking. Okay, 2 3/4, a little over 70 millimeters, 2 3/4 inch blade. And not quite 6.5, is it? 6 3/8 inches long total, and around 16 and a little bit more of centimeters. Not much there, huh? Not much there, buddy. And let's kick this open and see what we got. 0.39, so it's very slender. 10 millimeters, and blade stock 2.6. So 0.10. Let's confirm on that a little bit. Yeah, right there. Okay. All right, and you got the fuller that runs the full length. And I'm not really going to comment much on the design because, I like the design of the Natrix. I like it. You got a little sharpening choil here. You got a little thumb ramp here. You don't have enough room for your whole hand here, but you got 3 fingers and this one can kind of back you up at the end here. So yeah, you can get a pretty good grip on this. Reverse grip, you know, you're still crowded. I get that. It's a small knife. So it's a small knife. I think when I took this apart, I was doing it from this side and taking them out, and then this screw was turning both sides. So I held this one in place and unscrewed this, and this is the side that unscrewed. So I had this one in place, all these other screws were gone, whatever. So I took the pocket clip off too, just to, you know, do a complete disassembly. I did not take the subframe off. I did not unscrew these screws, which are kind of odd because they're above grade there, these cap screws. I don't know why they did that. There's a lot of things I don't know why. If you look at the Natrix XL, look under there and you'll see, and if I can put a little bit more light on the matter, but you'll see that these two screws that run through here, or 3 screws that run through here, are flush. They're flush. Okay, and then you got this screw. Now, hold on. I disassembled this one too. So there's these 3 screws that go through there. Here's your pocket clip. Okay, so that does help. That does help hold that in place. Although here, if you'll notice, this is not cut away like it is on the Copper Natrix here. This is still part of that support plate, which this screw on both sides here comes through on this side and supports. Okay, so this screw actually comes into here and helps support this, probably right up against that back spacer as well. And there's your pocket clip kind of thing. See? So there's your back spacer where that screw goes through. So I mean, that's going to compress. So I don't know if taking the pocket clip off and going left hand here is as significant, because they got these 3 screws here and this screw up here that provides support. So I guess I could take the pocket clip off and see if it screws up the detent, which maybe I should do. What the hell, huh? Well, maybe we ought to do it. Just see if that, I don't know if it will on my Copper Natrix as well, but I've seen it happen to other people. And let's see if I actually unscrewed the screw. There it is. And we're off to the races. Let's not do that. But, I mean, so we're talking, you know, and I usually don't get into the engineering that much on these knives. Hold on, let me pop that off. Okay, so I don't usually get into the engineering that much because I'm a right-handed person. So I don't usually pull the pocket clips off. I just don't. And you're not dealing with the subframe lock, and it never occurred to me they had it anchored through here because I saw these 3 screws. Well, so far so good. You know, I think I'm okay on this one. Is it moving, the centering? No, it's still centered. It's hard to see it's centered because it's black, but it's centered. No, this one does not affect it. How weird. But we've got these extra 3 screws plus this supporting it, which was a great idea. So tell me, my friends, and let me throw these screws all over the table. Why not here? Through the back spacer here and support that. Okay. So in any case, it is a different setup between these 2 knives, and apparently this is okay without the pocket clip. Now, just for fun, let's see how screwed up we are. And where'd I just throw that damn thing? Here it is. And let's see if that affects this one. I did disassemble it, but I reassembled the knife completely before trying to even I had the pocket clip on here by the time I reassembled everything, so I didn't try it without the pocket clip. So let's pop this off. Okay, we got it off. So let's try it. Okay, we got no pocket clips, so we've lost our support here. You know, I wonder if the Kershaw guys never had any issues with that. Because I heard from a couple of people that they lost detent on this knife. So it became worthless. This whole deal became worthless because they lost detent when they took out the screws. And then I also heard that there were other people reporting they didn't have any issues when they took the screws out. So I guess I'm just lucky. Rather be lucky than good. Rather be lucky than good. So this one is fine. It's not messing it up. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have these screws tightened down enough when they took the pocket clip off. I don't know. But apparently, it's okay. This one is. This is fine. And it's staying centered perfectly. Okay. Well, there you go. Wherever you go, there you are. We're good. And we burned up a hell of a lot of time. And what have we even talked about? Well, we talked about this. We weighed it. We measured it. We compared it to the XL. I'm running backwards, man. I'll tell you, my mind is... Whew, it hasn't been that good today. But I've been conversing with a couple of viewers that have lost their mind as well. So it's kind of one of those days. There you go. PM2, big. Copper Natrix, little. But kind of heavy for what it is, even though it's weight relieved. But okay, I got way off track into all this subframe lock stuff, which is kind of interesting. But okay, if you want a Natrix that's really, really nice, what are you gonna do? I don't want to be just a mean jerk, but come on, man. Seriously? Copper? Copper? How about something, that makes sense, like micarta? Canvas micarta or something like that with S35 VN. I guess we'd be getting too close to the 777 and then everything, would implode. I guess. I don't understand. And another thing, let me ask you this. Okay, so you got a backspacer, like this G10, black G10 backspacer. Now, I like a backspacer, usually, because I feel like it kind of completes the knife. You know what I mean? Just kind of gives it that little extra touch, even if it's small. But on this, when you're throwing, steel, copper, and a black G10 on there, I kind of think maybe you could have left this out and kind of had it open and had some polished stainless or maybe some copper standoffs on here. Like two of them, one here, something like that. I don't know. This almost really might be nicer if it was an open design, as opposed to just a black G10. You can see the seam on it and everything. It's a little not as cool as the rest of the knife. The rest of the knife I like it, and I know the copper will patina over time and all that kind of stuff, but I don't need copper patinaing. I don't need a handle like that. Yeah, copper's nice on other things that might patina and look cool after a while, but not really on a knife, and not really on a knife that is this is a $59 shooter that I don't know if I like handling this that much. I just don't like the smell of that metallic-y, coppery smell necessarily. So, stainless steel even would be preferable to me. but really give me something to grip onto. So give me some nice G10 or micarta and throw M390 on it. Let's go to town, baby. I mean, don't be shy, Kershaw. I mean, do you ever wonder? I mean, this is kind of totally ridiculous to throw out there, maybe. But I do. I think about this. Think about it. Think about it. You're in the boardroom or the decision boiler, whatever, the thought processing room where people are kicking around ideas about what to do. And, what would you think of? Hey, let's make a copper with D2. I mean, I think that'd be deep sixed in my room pretty quick. It'd be, hell no, let's go G10, micarta, maybe a carbon fiber, whatever, with I don't know. That's what I would have done with, S35, M390, something that people want to buy. I mean, people still like S35. It's a great steel. Even S30. Well, these are made in China. Well, I know they're made in China, but so are WE knives, Kershaw, other than Kershaw, WE knives, Kaiser, and a whole bunch of others, Riots. And guess what? Guess what? You're not going to guess. Yes, they have M390, S35VN, CTS 204P, whatever. They've got it in China. They got the distributors right there in that knife-making capital in China. So just because it's made in China doesn't mean you got to put HCR on it. Now, obviously, this is D2 and this is from China, which we're going to send in and get checked. So we'll get the HRC on this and at least figure out what we got here, if it's soft, hard, in between, whatever it is. So we can kind of get an idea, the HRC, the performance you might be expecting out of this blade. But make it bigger? Yeah, it'd be cool. This little one, I like, but I'm not in love with the copper. I can live with the D2. And they did some machining in there to weight relieve it. That kind of thing. And I guess I'm not losing detent, so kudos to me for getting the right one, because there's a couple dudes out there ain't too happy. They lost traction when they took off the action here, so that ain't gonna work. And for lefties, you don't want to get that knife that has issues. And but I thought, well, these two screws should secure it properly, and this one is, so go figure. If they would have just made these, flat like this, why didn't they do that? Why did they have them bumping up there like a couple of speed bumps on there? I think that's just kind of not cool. Not cool at all. I mean, make them flush. You did here. What the hell? We got problems? So, I don't know. In any case, $59.99. Go to White Mountain Knives. And this, I think, is 51 or 52. And they were still in stock at White Mountain as well. But, if you like a bigger knife, you're going to like this knife. I know, HCR, but I think you can live with it. In any case, I've jabbered myself to death. I get a comment every once in a while. Verbose. 3 minutes, you should be done. Well, find another channel, buddy, because 3 minutes ain't happening here. That's just getting warmed up. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. I just feel like it needs to be discussed. And yes, there's a lot to talk about. And I like the Natrix line, but God bless them anyhow over at Kershaw. Please, dear Kershaw, hire me. Please hire me. I will make you famous, right? Don't have to shoot you to make you famous, right? Billy, I'll make you famous. Never mind. Take care. You know what we do around here. We love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.